Did you see who just met Captain Ibrahim Traore? No, this isn't politics as usual, this is history. Samuel Eto'o, the African football legend, the Lion of Cameroon himself, landed in Ouagadougou and walked straight into the presidential palace. What happened next wasn't just a handshake. It was a milestone, a powerful symbol of unity, pride, and a new era for African sport and leadership. Before we dive deep into this unforgettable moment, don't forget to like this video so YouTube can recommend it to more people across the continent and the diaspora. This story deserves to be heard far and wide. In the heart of West Africa, where the dust rises from the red earth and drums echo the pulse of the people, something remarkable just happened in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, a country forging a bold new path in the Sahel, played host to some of the greatest legends African football has ever produced. But the spotlight wasn't just on the ball or the stadium. It was on a meeting that blended athletic greatness with rising political strength. Samuel Eto'o, one of the most iconic African footballers of all time, known for his lightning-fast speed, sharp instincts, and unmatched legacy, led a delegation of football legends to Burkina Faso. But this wasn't just about football. This was a return to African roots, a reconnection with purpose. And the man waiting to greet him? None other than Captain Ibrahim Traore, the young, fearless leader who has become a symbol of resistance, dignity, and Pan-African hope. It was Monday morning, August 4th, 2025. The sun was already blazing over Ouagadougou. Streets were buzzing with excitement, not just because of the reopening of the August 4th stadium, but because something powerful was in the air. Football and politics, history and future, all colliding in one moment. Samuel Eto'o, now president of the Cameroonian Football Federation and a revered figure across Africa, spoke with conviction after the meeting. "First of all, we want to thank you for welcoming us, at home, in your home," he said with pride. But those weren't just polite words. They carried weight. They reflected something deeper, the feeling of belonging. The feeling of standing on African soil with purpose and pride. The reopening of the August 4th stadium wasn't just a sports event. It was a statement, a declaration that despite all the challenges, terrorism, economic instability, and the legacy of colonization, Burkina Faso is standing strong. And what better way to mark such a moment than by bringing together the continent's sports heroes and its rising political leaders? Captain Ibrahim Traore didn't just welcome the delegation with formality, he welcomed them as brothers, as fellow warriors in the struggle for a new Africa. And for the legends of football, this wasn't just symbolic, it was spiritual. They saw in Traore not just a military figure, but a leader with vision. A man walking boldly, carrying the hopes of his people, just as they once carried the hopes of millions on the pitch. Eto'o didn't hold back in his praise. It was an immense joy to be received by His Excellency, Mr. President of Faso, who is a pride for the Africa we love, he said. And those words echoed across Burkina Faso and beyond. Because when legends speak, people listen. This wasn't about politics. This was about Pan-African unity. The kind of unity that transcends borders, language, and profession. The kind that says, "We are one." The kind that says, "We must support each other if Africa is to rise." For Eto'o and his fellow legends, from Senegal to Nigeria, from Ghana to Côte d'Ivoire, the meeting with Traore marked more than just a diplomatic gesture. It was a spiritual bridge between generations, between those who made Africa proud on the football pitch and those now making Africa proud on the global political stage. In the backdrop was the thunderous excitement of the August 4th stadium reopening. A place that had been silent too long. Now, its gates are open, its pitch is green, and its seats ready to welcome the next generation of Burkinabe stars. And the presence of legends like Eto'o sent a powerful message. Burkina Faso is back. Africa is rising. But what makes this moment even more powerful is its symbolism. Captain Ibrahim Traore represents a new kind of African leadership, youthful, bold, unapologetically African. He's not playing the old game of submission or dependence. He's rewriting the rules. He's asserting sovereignty. He's reminding the world that Africa's future will be decided by Africans. Samuel Eto'o too represents a different kind of sports icon, one who didn't retire into silence but stepped into leadership, one who continues to speak, act, and fight for the dignity of African athletes and African youth. When these two men met, it wasn't just a photo op. It was a handshake between two visions of African excellence, a footballer who electrified the world, a leader electrifying a continent. Eto'o added something deeply emotional. "I hope for those who are in Ouagadougou for the first time it will not be the last. We must return, because Burkina Faso is a part of Africa. And as you can see, all these legends have brought smiles to this continent. We feel at home everywhere on our continent." That word, home, was said again and again. Because that's what this was. A homecoming. A recognition that every inch of Africa belongs to all of us. That the struggles of Burkina Faso are our struggles. That its victories are our victories. That football, culture, and politics must move together if we are to truly liberate our continent. Imagine a stadium full of young boys and girls in Ouagadougou, their eyes wide, watching legends like Eto'o walk across their field. Imagine what that does to a child's mind, the dreams it ignites, the confidence it builds, the belief that they too can rise. That is the real power of this moment. It goes beyond the meeting room. It goes beyond politics or sports. It touches the heart of every African child who needs to see themselves in their heroes. And in Traore and Eto'o, they now see what is possible. A strong leader who protects and inspires. A sporting giant who uplifts and returns. They see role models who don't forget where they came from. This story may not dominate international headlines, but in Africa, it matters. Because it shows that when legends return home and when leaders open their doors, something greater is born, a new generation of belief. So what comes next? For Burkina Faso, the reopening of the August 4th Stadium is just the beginning. With peace, investment, and continued Pan-African support, it could become a hub for regional tournaments, youth training, and cultural exchange. For African football, this moment serves as a reminder that its power is more than entertainment. It's political, it's social, it's revolutionary. And for the African people, the message is clear. Unity is strength. Whether on the battlefield or the football field, we win together. If this story inspired you, even just a little, then help us spread it. Click the like button so YouTube can recommend it to more people across Africa and beyond. Share it with your friends, your football groups, your community leaders. Let them see what's possible when African greatness stands shoulder to shoulder. And drop a comment below. What does this moment mean to you? Should more African legends return home to support their countries? And how can we continue building the bridge between leadership and sport across the continent? Let's keep the conversation going, because at Chronicle Update, we believe in telling the stories that matter, the stories that uplift, the stories that unite. Burkina Faso, Africa is watching you, and we're cheering you on.